Welcome to episode number 1 of Streaming Tech. I am the one Christo, and I desperately need a haircut. As promised, today I want to cover my current streaming setup. I want to go ahead and show you that it is possible to get a stream off the ground with the most basic of tools. I'll walk you through each different aspect of my stream, what tools I'm using, what videos I'm looking to put out down the line to be able to compare, contrast, and see where it is worth upgrading to improve the visuals of the actual stream. That being said, I'm going to link as much as I can in the description, and hopefully that will allow for a collection of different tools that you can use to just get the ball rolling and get your stream started. The first thing I want to cover is my PC. So I mentioned things are typically done on my channel, fairly low budget. It's a hobby of mine, right? I'm not a full-time content creator. My PC is the one exception. I ended up building something at the end of last year. I got an extra bonus from my previous employer, and I put it into my PC. So a buddy of mine, the house, who you'll occasionally see in my Twitch chat, helped me put together something that is fairly high-end. Used an Intel i7 9700K. We threw in 16 gigs of RAM, an EVGA Super 2070 XC, and really it's way overkill for what I do. I'm mainly playing card games and streaming at the same time. It does not require a high-end PC whatsoever. I can't really comment on what you would need to be able to get your stream going. It really is going to depend on the games you're going to play. Streaming doesn't take up a ton of resources, but if your PC is having a hard time pushing out the proper frame rates for the game itself you're playing, it's going to have a hard time slapping streaming on top of that. So the next thing I want to cover is audio. So I'm currently using a Blue Snowball Ice. I ended up picking it up because I was doing a lot of Zoom calls when I started working from home, and I was using that typical headset that you see in some call centers, and I wasn't loving it. I found it really uncomfortable, so I decided to switch it up, go with speakers and a standalone mic. I went online, I found the Snowball Ice fairly inexpensive, so I went ahead and grabbed it, and it's worked just fine. Now, recently on Amazon, I actually saw one of these guys, a Blue Yeti, on sale. So I picked it up. What I'm going to be doing is putting out, my next video actually is going to be comparing the two. I was wondering if it was worth, I think it was about an extra $40 to pick up the Yeti, and I couldn't find a good video online that wasn't excessively long and technical as to if the extra couple bucks were worth it. So next week, I'm going to put out a video comparing the two within Streamlabs OBS, so really just giving you the option of seeing which one produces the best sound on it. Within the category of talking audio, I also want to talk about different filters. So there's a few different things, noise gates, things like that, that I've been playing around with in Streamlabs, and I want to talk you through that as well. Just give you different options to really get the most out of your microphone. Finally, I'll also be talking about extra accessories, boom arms, things like that, just to see if they do make a difference, if it is a worthwhile investment for your stream. Once we get through audio, we're going to jump into the visual aspect of the stream. So I'm currently using a Logitech C920S. It does a great job of putting together a pretty good picture, but same principle. I ended up actually buying it because I was using it for Zoom calls. So I went ahead, flipped it on, started using it for my stream. It pushes out up to 1080p, only 30 FPS, so keep that in mind. And the aspect of the S at the end of the 920 is simply the fact that it actually has a physical cover to cover the lens. I'm not one that's crazy about privacy and things like that, but on my webcam, having that extra little built-in tool, I find really, really practical. I do want to do a few comparisons within the video category. I have been reading up that your actual phone camera can be a great option for a webcam, so I'm going to try that out. My girlfriend also has about a 10-year-old DSLR hanging around. So I want to plug that into my computer. I want to see what kind of visuals that will give me, so I'll definitely jump into that as well. Finally, I'll touch on a few different filters that I use and different filters you can use to try and improve and just, again, get the most out of your camera. On a side note to that, something that's really, really important that I will be touching on as well is lighting. I know it sounds silly, but in a room that I'm in, I have some pretty bright overhead lights. I have a window right over here that's kind of facing me, but I usually stream in the evening, which makes the lights a little bit odd. Has some really weird shadows and can just generally be dark and make it difficult to see. So I ended up coming up with a sort of half-assed solution. It's actually this. Which is less than ideal. So what I've actually done is I went ahead and ordered some additional lighting online. Once I get it, we'll walk through that together. Bringing it all together is Streamlabs OBS. I know I've mentioned it a few times. Right now, it is my streaming tool of choice. I actually originally had my whole stream set up on the original OBS Studio. Everything seemed to be okay. And then one of my good buddies, another streamer, WatchFlake, who Twitch will be in the description, he came out and suggested that I actually switch over to Slobs, which I did. And I was actually quite happy I did as well. Streamlabs just gives you a few extra functions that I find more practical. Within that, one of the best things or most beneficial I find is the Streamlabs Marketplace. So you can actually jump in there and find free tools like my overlays that I use on my channel. They're absolutely free. They have a great variety of them. I ended up selecting Arcade Pop. I simply like the aesthetic of it, but I find it really beneficial to be able to brand your channel well and give you a very standard approach through all your screens, on your description page as well on Twitch, your about section and all of that. They'll give you the little banners. You have a lot of extras. To add to that, I actually also use the Streamlabs chatbot. I used Moobot in the past, which did great for the song requests, which is something big for me. I want my viewers to be able to request their own music. So that did a really nice job. The one thing it lacked that I switched over for is the ability to use sound files. Again, to create that kind of interactive feel, I use a lot of different sounds on my stream, and Streamlabs chatbot allows my viewers, my subscribers actually, to be able to ping those in chat. So that's what made me make the switch over, but there's a ton of great bots out there. I'll cover those a little bit more in detail down the line as well. My logo's pretty silly. It's just a winking face of my cartoon self. It was actually a Bitmoji I had created in Snapchat ages ago, and I needed something simple, and more importantly, I needed something free. There's tons of options out there. There's you'll hear about Fiverr a lot. You can try 99 Designs. You can use Gaming Zombies. I gave them a go just for something really, really simplistic and inexpensive. So there's lots of options out there, and I'll go through a few of them as I progress and build out my stream. Now that pretty much covers what I wanted to talk about within my first video here, just giving you kind of an intro as to what the tools are I use. So if you did like kind of this walkthrough, please give it a thumbs up. If you are interested in seeing kind of what comes next, like I said, next week's video is going to be about audio, comparing that Snowball Ice to the Yeti. I hit the subscribe button so you do get alerts. You can check me out as always on Twitch, twitch.tv/theonechristo, and kind of see how all of my stream components come together. Feel free to drop by, say hi, request some music, or ask me some questions about my stream. I'd be happy to chat. Don't forget, leave comments down below if there's anything else you want to see, if there are any other videos or questions you have around streaming, around putting out your first streams. Let me know so I can go ahead and cover them down the line. So like I said, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, check me out on Twitch, drop me comments about how great or how terrible this is. Let me know how I'm doing. I look forward to putting out my next video and talking to you all very, very soon.